In today's video, I'm going to go over a useful but underrated Excel function, and that is the DateDif function. So what the DateDif function allows you to do is calculate the time difference between two dates, either in years, month, or days. Now, if you just want to calculate the difference between two dates in terms of days, that's a really simple calculation. All you're doing is taking the most recent date and subtracting the earlier date. You can see that's a span of, in this case, 35 days. Now, using the DateDif function, we can do the same thing. Now you'll notice the DateDif function, when I type it in, it doesn't show you what the arguments are the way that you'd normally expect when you enter in a function in Excel, but it takes the start date and then the end date, and then we specify D for days, M for months, or Y for years when we calculate the date difference. So it gives me the same answer. So obviously this is really similar when we're calculating days between this and just subtracting the days. But imagine if you want to calculate the difference in months or in years. Then it becomes a little bit more complex if you don't use the DateDif function, because then you'd have to use something like the month function to pull in the month value of that specific date and create a nested formula, and it can get a bit complex. But with the DateDif function, we can just specify our start date, our end date, and then specify an M for months. And now we can see that from this date to this date, there's only been one full month that has elapsed. Here we can see that from February until June, there's been 3 full months that have elapsed. Here we've got 5 months. Here we've got 6 months. So it's a really easy way to do that calculation. Now, if we had years in here, let's say I change this order date to 2021, and now my gap is going to span multiple years. So it still gives me the total month count of 25, more than a year. I could also convert this, instead of using an M, I could use a Y to specify years. And now it tells me there's been 2 full years that have elapsed since the order date and the date that the invoice was paid. So using the DateDif function, it can be really useful when you just want to calculate the difference in months or years without having to go and use Excel's month or year functions and also combining that with the date function, because that can get unnecessarily complicated, especially when you got something useful like the DateDif function, which is a bit underrated in the sense that it's almost a bit hidden, where if you don't know about it, you may not know that you can use it, because it's not something that's really easy to find just by, as you can see, just by typing in the function name. But it is there in Excel. It's a really useful function to use, especially when you want to calculate the date difference in months or years. So if you like this video, please leave a like. Make sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.